Congratulations! Not only are you a part of a fast-growing industry, but you are in the beginning stage of becoming an entrepreneur. The content of today's video is the basic skills of tweezers when working with flat-foot tweezers. I would recommend holding your two fingers behind and your thumb in the middle and making sure that you're not too high like this. If you're holding the tweezers up really high, you're going to get a lot more strain in your hands. It could lead to RSI, which stands for repetitive strain injury. Move down nice and low, so that the way you don't need as much strength to really close that flat foot of your tweezer tips. You can now access the whole two eyes using this method. By having your pinky down and stretching it, place your pinky on the nose to stretch into the inner corner of the middle or also the outer edge. After talking about how to hold the tweezers, let's talk about lash picking. Correct picking position. Place tweezers 1 to 2 millimeters above the tape. Different angles of picking up lashes. Classic lashes. Pick up the lash towards your chest. Volume lashes. Pick up the fan lateral opposite direction of your chest. Pre-made fan lashes. Sometimes when working with pre-mades, the fans can get stuck in the middle of the tape or get stuck at the bottom of the tape. If the fan is stuck in the middle, with your tweezers pick the fan up at the bottom. And if the fan is stuck at the bottom, again with your tweezers pick up the fan from the middle. Isolation practice. First, working with sunset isolation tweezers. When we hold our isolation tweezer is always held in our non-dominant hand with the tips pointing down. When we hold our tweezers, we're going to sit the tip of the tweezer on the iPad, never on the eyeball. So first, our two fingers should be pointing as if we're pointing a gun. Then we're gonna sit our tweezer in the crease of our hand between our thumb. And we're going to move our middle finger over for support underneath our isolation tweezer. That's it, like this, so we can get used to the feeling of this. Then when we move into actually isolating, we're going to tilt our tweezers down once you're ready to isolate. Now we will actually practice. Sit tweezer in the crease of hand between thumb. Move middle finger over for support underneath isolation tweezer. Then move into actually isolating. Sometimes the back of your hand can sit up, sometimes even more up, and sometimes it'll be pretty close to where you're in a resting position. So we're in our resting position, and once we're ready to isolate, we're gonna move our thumb up the tweezer, move our fingers like so, and tilt the tweezer in a downward position to isolate. The back of your hand can sit up. Move our thumb up the tweezer, move our fingers like so, and tilt the tweezer in a downward position to isolate. All of these movements should be very subtle and controlled without putting strain on your wrist and your hand, so you can get used to just holding and moving the tweezers in your hand. Sometimes I rest my finger underneath my isolation tweezer, my middle finger. Other times I hold my tweezers. This is so you really just get used to having the tweezers in your hand and feeling comfortable with them. And remember, just use your fingers to move the tweezers around you. When we have straight tweezers for isolation, the method can be same as the sunset tweezers. Or you can use other methods if you can get used to having the tweezers in your hand and feeling comfortable with them, and you can use it flexibly to finish the job. Quick isolation method. You always want to make sure that you're using this boot part of the tweezer and not tip part. So we're coming through with this apply tweezer and pulling them apart. At the same time pulling them apart here. So let's hook them. We found one and opened it, and then again hook it and open. The importance of practicing isolation. Isolation allows the natural shedding process to take place. So every lash goes through the growth cycle, and lashes that are stuck together, not only will it be painful but will not shed as they are intended to. Here comes the painful part we speak of. Lashes that are not properly isolated may be pulled ahead of time, thus damaging the hair follicle. Isolation is the key to success. Thank you for your watching. Next lesson we will talk about the theoretical knowledge about glue, such as curing principle, use and storage. See you next time.